cut that three-game losing skid and tighten things up and bring home a W today to get them back to 500. They are 6-7 overall, and we'll see if they have anything to offer here tonight on this Christmas edition of Thomas More basketball action, and the game has begun. Damion King takes it over on the left side of the court. He'll dribble over and give to Ralph Stone, then over to Garen Birch, and then Brandon Horn. You can introduce all of the starters for Thomas More. Here's now Ryan Callahan. Now back to Brandon Horn. Horn, a Louisville native. Not too far here, so I'm sure afterwards he'll be heading home for Christmas. Here now is Ralph Stone driving in. Kicks it back out now to Garen Birch. 5 to shoot, not a lot of time. Here now is Horn. The mid-range jumper on the way is no good and is rebounded there quite easily for Mount St. Joseph. That rebound coming in for Devin Young. Here now is Sean Sullivan. Sullivan passing over to Liam Rabe, and it's stolen away there by Ralph Stone. Good steal there by Stone. He drives in with the right, goes up off the window and goes in. A good take there for Ralph Stone, and Thomas More is on the board first here, 52 seconds into the ball game. Here now is Rabe passing over to Mitch Moorhead. Moorhead swings it back over to Rabe. Rabe driving in on Callahan. He's got a little bit of a window, but he's going to kick it back out now to Moorhead. Moorhead with 13 to shoot. Swings it over, and he'll pass now to Devin Young. Now back into Moorhead. Moorhead working on Stone. The post move up, and it's in. A good take there by Moorhead to equalize it too. Damion King with it. Damion King looking now to Garen Birch. Now inside to King. King now back out to Horn. Man, King didn't have a lot of room there underneath the hoop. Good idea probably to kick that one back out to his teammate Brandon Horn. Unfortunately, Horn was unexpected. He wasn't expecting that basketball, and he ends up getting called for the double dribble. So 18:24 left to play here in half number one. And Thomas More and Mount St. Joseph are tied at one score apiece, 2-2. And now here is Sullivan. Now kicking back out to Moorhead. The three on the way. That one no good. Rebounded by Ryan Callahan. Good work there by Garen Birch underneath the hoop to knock that one out, almost like a volleyball player. And they're going to call a carry on Ryan Callahan. Callahan not pleased with it, but you're going to have to be careful with that. These refs are going to keep an eye on just about everything, especially when you got the ball in your hands. You know, those off-ball fouls and those off-ball, errors aren't so, easily picked up on by referees. But when you got the ball in your hand, I mean, all eyes are on you. Here now is Young. Young passing over now to Rabe. Rabe now into Moorhead. Moorhead still not really into the paint yet. And he'll kick back out to Sullivan. 8 seconds to shoot. The Mount St. Joseph bench chiming in, letting their teammates know how much time's left on the clock. The shot on the way from Cropper was no good, and it's rebounded by TMU. Ooh, here now is Stone. Stone back to Horn. Horn looks off the three. Stone points out the screen for Birch, but Birch going to get a little bit afterwards. He's going to hand it off now to Ryan Callahan. Now over to Damion King. Here now is Birch. Birch to Stone. Stone, the mid-range two from the wing, no good. And it's rebounded there by Young. So now here's Cropper. Still 3 minutes in. Thomas More and Mount St. Joseph tied 2-2. Here now is Young. Young losing it. Good job there by Birch to get a hand in and knock that ball away. Maybe throwing off a little bit. He has to hand it off to Rabe. Now over to Cropper. And now here's Moorhead. Moorhead out on the perimeter. Gives it to Cropper. 4 seconds to shoot. And Cropper is going to be called for the travel. Good job there by Thomas More to stay tough on the interior, not letting anything inside. And TMU is going to get the ball back here with 16:41 to play in half number one. See the cheerleaders and the dance squad, or see the dance squad has the little Santa caps on over there on the left side of your screen. Definitely getting to the holiday spirit here. Here now is Garen Birch. Birch, jump stop, and it's kicked there by Mitch Moorhead. Good job there by Moorhead to put that big left foot out and knock away that pass inside from Birch. TMU still tied. They're going to keep the ball down on their end of the court. 20 seconds to shoot here. Thomas More, coached by Justin Ray, as they swing it back out to Ralph Stone. Ray in his first year of coaching for Thomas More. Obviously, most notably, as Ryan Callahan goes up and in. Justin Ray comes from Mount St. Joseph, actually, as an assistant coach. So this game is going to mean a lot more than just getting back to 500 for Coach Ray. I mean, as a first-year coach, you're getting a chance to play your old team. As an easy bucket there goes up and in for Sean Sullivan. You know, there's going to be a lot on the table here. I'm sure, I mean, Coach Ray seems cool and collected right now, but you got to think, not in the back of his head. It's got to be probably at the forefront of this man's mind. He's got to beat his old team. He's got to do the most, all that he can, to get a W here today before the Christmas break. You know, I should say before the men's basketball team is on their Christmas break, because, you know, you look at Thomas More. I mean, the campus has been closed for, since last Thursday at least. So we'll see what the men's basketball team can do here. Here now with 16 to shoot is Stone. Either way, let's hope a nice gift can come for Ray before the 25th. Here's Birch, who somehow tips it up and in. An improbable make there for 24 under the hoop. I don't think he actually had the basketball when he put it up and in. I think he just kind of tipped it, but sometimes that's the way it works. Good bucket there by Garen Birch. Gives TMU the lead 6-4. They're going to call a reach-in foul there on Brandon Horn. That's his first foul. That's a team's first foul. So fouls are one apiece for each team. As I said, Brandon Horn, and then for Mount St. Joseph, it's Liam Ray. Here now is Sean Sullivan. Sullivan driving with the left. Kind of loses it. Good defense there by Damion King. Here now is Cropper. Or excuse me, Young looking inside for Cropper. It's on the ground, and it's going to be a jump ball. With 4 seconds left in the shot clock, the ball will stay with Mount St. Joseph. So Thomas More really in a good position as the possession arrow will change back into their favor. And Mount St. Joe only with 4 seconds to shoot. A quick one on the way from Young. It's blocked there by Garen Birch cleanly and picked up by Ryan Callahan. Here now is Birch. Birch now back out to Horn. Plenty of time here. 24 seconds to shoot. And they're going to call a travel there on Damion King. So that's unfortunate. Toby Kerrigan, the head coach for Mount St. Joseph, very vocal there on his bench. And Sean Sullivan will bring the ball up for the Lions. Now here's Young. Young working down low on the low block. It's going to be knocked away there by Callahan and picked up by Horn. Now here's Horn in transition. A good move up and in. Should have been an and one as he got knocked to the ground. And Thomas More is going to take a 4-point lead. So Toby Kerrigan is going to call a 30-second timeout. And we've got a quick break. Folks, you guys for both coming to these games and watching them here on ThomasMoreSaints.com. You guys make it so special. Back here after the break. There's a quick one. And now we've got some substitutions here for Mount St. Joseph and Thomas More. I should just say for Mount St. Joseph, as they've got a Cedric Woods coming in, the junior guard from Fairfield, Ohio. East side Cincinnati kid, kind of northeast area. And that foul's going to go against Garen Birch. That's his first foul tonight. Ray passes into Cropper. Cropper, a little bit taller than Ralph Stone. He'll pass now out to Woods. Now over to Sullivan. Now back to Cropper. Cropper driving in with the left. Spins, looks on the low block, goes up and misses. It's rebounded there by Birch. So now here is King crossing the timeline, passing off now to Garen Birch. The sophomore looking inside for Callahan, up, under, and in. It's easy. Ryan Callahan makes it a 10-4 game, and Thomas More leads at the 13-minute and 39-second mark in the first half. Here now is Moorhead. Moorhead, a good player in Mitch Moorhead. He's fun to watch. He's a big man that can move well and with or without the basketball. Cropper loses it. Now here's Moorhead at the top of the key. Back out now. A quick three on the way from Moorhead off the front of the iron, and it's rebounded by Birch. Here now is Damion King working in on Woods. He's got some space. Legs it up, and he lays it in. The soft kiss goes off the rim, off the glass, and in. And TMU takes a quick 8-point lead here in the Connor Convocation Center. The Triple C is starting to heat up a little bit here for TMU as they've got a substitution looking to check in for the Saints. Let's hope Thomas More can keep this roll going. Hopefully they can keep marching. Here now, a quick three from Rabe, or two on the way from Rabe, no good. Rebounded by Stone and handed off then to King. King actually has a size advantage on Cedric Woods. Woods probably pretty quick. He can probably keep up with King. A nice fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebounded by Birch. Good offensive rebound there. Inside now to Stone, who was in the lane. And now back out to, now inside to Birch. Birch looking up, missing, and it'll be rebounded there by Rabe. Good job there by Rabe, even though he was kind of undersized there under the hoop. He was still able to sneak around and take that one away. So Liam Rabe nabbing down a free throw. And they're going to call a travel there on Mitch Moorhead. So now into the game for TMU will be Ryan Batty. Coming in from Oak Hills. And now Ralph Stone will hand it off to Damion King, who's pushing the pace. He takes it all the way to the hoop. He lays it up and lays it in. A good take there by Damion King. He saw the floor so well. He saw that he had just an inch of room, and he took it immediately. Thomas More pushes their lead to double digits, 14-4 here, just over 12, or just under 12 to play. Sullivan goes in and is fouled. Thankfully, he doesn't make the basket, so he'll go to the line to shoot two. That foul goes against Callahan. That's his first foul. It's the team's third foul. Sullivan, an 85% free throw shooter, pretty solid from the charity stripe. We'll see if he continues that. He will indeed make the first one. So he'll increase that percentage just a little bit more. Gosh, you look at it, he's 18 for 21 on the year. It's a pretty solid run there from the line here in the first half of the year. Make that 19 for 22. As Sullivan, that's not a guy you're going to want to put on the foul line here going down the road. Here 14-6 now. Thomas More's lead trimmed to 8. Here now is Callahan. Callahan losing it. It's picked up by Sullivan. So Sullivan very active, both on offense and defense. Sean Sullivan averaging 11 points a game. So he's gonna be a formidable foe there on offense. And seeing what he's doing on defense, he's a pretty tough cookie there as well. A tough Christmas cookie, if you will. There's Woods going up, missing. It's rebounded by Horn and given off there to King. King driving down the court. Now kicks it back out to Callahan. Good job there by Horn to let that one go by. Here now from the three is Bat. That one no good. It's rebounded by Horn. Goes up, under, and in. Thomas More pushes the lead back up now to 10. 16-6 now. 11 minutes left to play in half number one. Sullivan with it. Gives it now to Young. Young guarded by Batty. I don't have a pronunciation chart there on numero 33. So, but I'll figure it out eventually, folks. That three from the corner, no good. Not the best shot selection there from Young. He runs into Damion King off the ball, and then a turnover there from Horn trying to find Batty going through the lane. So Thomas More continues to stay up by 10. Missed an opportunity to extend their lead there, as we're just over the half, or just under the halfway mark. Not sure how I should say that. 10 minutes and 20 seconds left in half number one. Here's Young out on the wing. He'll give it in now to Sullivan. Sullivan back now to Young. 8 seconds to shoot. Pulls up from the elbow. That one good. The left-handed shot was watery as it slides through the rim. Goes through the net. And Thomas More's lead now cut back to 8. Looking inside now to Batty again. Kicks back out now, kind of shimmies his way to the perimeter. Here now is Horn. Now looking inside to King. A good cut to the basket. And he's going to be fouled by Cropper. I thought Cropper got a lot of ball there, to be fair to Mount St. Joseph, but we will take it. Indeed he did. It won't be a foul call. It'll be out of play. So Thomas More keeps the ball underneath their own hoop. 14 seconds left to shoot here for TMU. Stone's got some space at the free throw line. Now gets it to Callahan. Now working inside. Now into Horn. Horn goes up. Horn misses, and he's fouled. And will go shoot two. So Brandon Horn coming in, 76% free throw shooter. He actually has shot the most free throws out of any Thomas More Saint so far this year, coming in shooting, making 35 of 46 free throws, so a pretty good margin for him. He's been to the line quite a bit, and he knocks that one down, so he'll notch that one up towards 77% with that make. And he pushes Thomas More's lead to 9. Second free throw on the way for Horn. That one is also good. So 2 for 2 on that trip to the charity stripe, as we have now checking in for Thomas More, the three-point specialist, and Knisley coming in for TMU. A lot of guards out there, and then you've got Batty. And they're going to say that Young went out of play, or went out of bounds. So now Thomas More is going to continue their nice little march here early in the first half. 18 points a game, pretty much quiet so far in the first half as he's yet to score. Brandon Horn has 6 points. Of course, going 2 for 2 from the free throw line there when he had his opportunity definitely helped. Damion King and Ryan Callahan also have 4 points apiece. So 18-8 our score, and we'll see if TMU can continue to push their lead even higher. Here now is Batty. Batty working it on Moorhead. Going up. And he'll miss. Rebounded there by Young. That will fall. It looked like that was a pretty high percentage shot. Wasn't contested as hard as you would think, even though Moorhead was right there to do it. Now looking inside to Moorhead. Goes up and goes in. Nice basket there by Moorhead. And TMU's lead cut back to 8. Here now is King. King out on the wing. Receives the screen pass. Now off the ball. Screen shot on the way is no good. Nearly got tipped in again for the second time today. Here now is King at the top of the key. Working in. He's going to go off the glass and in. When he wants to score, more often than not, he's going to make it happen. And Damion King has his 6th point of the evening. Here now is Cropper. Cropper dribbling with the left. Now over to Young. Young now back to Rabe. Rabe now into Moorhead. Gets pushed back out now to the perimeter and hands it off to Rabe. Rabe now back to Moorhead from 3 on the way. That one is no good, off the back of the iron and rebounded by Stone. So now here's King. Now over to Batty, and he's going to kick back out now to Knisley, then to Stone, now over to King. King looks off the 3. We'll slow it down now, 15 to shoot. 8 minutes to play. Knisley with it. He's got a lane, goes up off the glass and misses. Good defense there by Moorhead. Thomas More doubles the scoring output for Mount St. Joe in this one so far, 20-10. Easy math here in the Connor Convocation Center on this broadcast. Here now is Rabe running in. He's got a look. He's going to go up. Good defense there by Callahan not to make any harsh contact. And he's going to allow his team to come back down with the basketball. Here now is Thomas More with it. Damion King, the turnaround. Fadeaway jumper is good. Unbelievably. I mean, that had the perfect backspin. It was like Tiger Woods back in 2001. The perfect backspin as he has his 8th point of the evening. 22-10. Still plenty of basketball to play here in the first half, so hopefully Thomas More can extend this lead. And Mount St. Joe, for their sake, they've got plenty of time to get back into this one. Come on, it's Christmas. I'll try to be not as much of a homer as I usually am. Here now, a 3 on the way from Young. No good. Rebounded by Stone. Handed off to King. Crosses half court. Really pushing the pace. I like to see that. The 3 from the corner on the way is no good and rebounded by Rabe. Rabe has his 2nd rebound of the evening. Still yet to score in this one. Here now is Moorhead. And now a quick 2 on the way. That one is good by Brady Thomas, and he's on the scoreboard for the first time today. 22-12 here. 6:17 left to play. Here's Batty. Guarded by Moorhead. Looking inside to King under the hoop. Goes up and in. A great take there by Damion King. Sneaking that one on the opposite side of the rim to give Thomas More again a 12-point lead. Tied for their biggest lead of the evening. Moorhead with it. Moorhead out on the wing. Hands off to Cropper. Cropper driving him with the right, trying to get on the board, and he's going to get called for the travel. So they have kept him so quiet, as silent night goes. I tried. That one fell kind of flat, I'll admit. 24-12. I have to have like an internal laugh factor. You know, I have to be able to tell when my jokes hit and when they don't, because I don't have people laughing in my ear. Although maybe I should. Maybe I should keep like a laugh track here on ThomasMoreSaints.com. I think it's in our budget. We can figure that one out. Here's Birch handing off now to Callahan. The quick three on the way. That one is good. Callahan is, man, when he is moving like that and he can still knock it down, that shows you what kind of body control he has. If he can be moving and still pull up and knock something down from that far away. That three-pointer gives Thomas More their biggest lead of the evening. 15 points separate the two teams, 27-12, and Mount St. Joseph is called for a travel. So, again, we've got another timeout. This one is of the full variety. So, I get to take, always keep up with your favorite Thomas More Saints sports action. Pretty much everything is covered on Twitter. Follow Thomas More at TMU Saints on the Twitter. It's kept up whether they're on the road or at home. Pretty much every game recap is posted on there, game previews, updates from basketball games. So even when Thomas More is on the road playing in Michigan, as Brandon Horn knocks that one down. Michigan, or where the women's basketball team is down in South Florida. You've always got an opportunity to keep up with your Thomas More Saints. Here now is Young. Young handing it off now to Cropper. Now here's Moorhead. Now inside to Young. Young, the rebounding leader so far. He loses the basketball, and it's picked up there by Garen Birch. They're going to say that Young fouled Birch going for the basketball as he realized it was being stolen from him, and he's called for the shove. So he's whistled for another foul, or his first foul, excuse me. It's only the team's third foul. And they're going to call a timeout for Thomas More. So we've got a 30-second timeout. Not a lot of action between those two little breaks there. Going kind of, let this game get too far away from anyone. I think that's something that Kerrigan's going to want to continue to, remind his players, even though they are losing right now by 17 points. There's still a lot of basketball to play. For Thomas More, or for Mount St. Joseph's sake, as Damion King goes up under and in. Maybe not with the way Damion King's playing, but if they can get a couple good scores here going into halftime, that could give Thomas More something to think about during the break, and that's exactly what Mount St. Joseph's going to want to do. Quick foul call there. That one's going to be on Knisely, I believe. No. Oh, it is on Knisely for the hand check. That's his first foul. That's the team's fourth foul, and just like that, finally, Jake Cropper gets on the board for the first time. His team down now by 17. Here now is Birch. They're going to call a travel. So Birch, unfortunately, not going to have the bucket count. And Coach Kerrigan not pleased that Birch had that kind of room to get to the hoop. And that was Cropper. Cropper now over to Moorhead. And now to Cropper again. Cropper now back out to the perimeter, and it's nearly stolen away there by Callahan. But here's Rabe. Rabe swinging it back out. Somehow saved there by Cropper. The two on the way, no good. And it's out of play. It will stay with Mount St. Joseph. And MSJ will have the inbound here. That one apparently, I don't know if the shot clock should have reset there. But I suppose it did. I guess they said Thomas More had possession of it. So now here's Sullivan. Bounce pass into Young. Now back out to Sullivan on the wing. Now out to Rabe. Now over to Young. Now inside, stolen away there by Damion King. Great one-handed interception. Now King running in, laying it up, and they're going to call the offensive foul. Damion King laid the shoulder into Young. That was close to the the little charge circle underneath the hoop. Damion King, he's running so fast. He's got a full head of steam, and unfortunately was unable to, kind of reel that one in. Good job there by Young. I'm not sure if he set his feet, but he got to the charge circle quick enough to be able to draw that foul. That'll be King's first foul of the game, the team's fifth. And now MSJ is going to get a shot at it here with 3:14 left to play here in the first half, right here on ThomasMoreSaints.com. Here's Moorhead, guarded by Birch. Birch awfully close there. Could have gotten whistled probably for a foul. Here's Sullivan. Sullivan now passing over to Rabe. Rabe dribbling back and giving it over to number 23, Brady Thomas. Now to Moorhead. Thomas now with it. And now Moorhead. 5 to shoot. Gives it now over to Cropper. Cropper not with a lot of time. Looks inside to Moorhead. Blocked there by Garen Birch. A huge stuff from the sophomore. And Thomas More gets the ball back here with 2:41 left to play. Here's Knisley. Passing now over to Callahan. Callahan holding the ball in his right hand. Dribbling with the left and will bounce now over to Birch. Now inside to Callahan. And it's knocked away by Sullivan and stolen by Rabe. Good defensive efforts there by both MSJ and TMU. Here's Rabe. Rabe swinging from left to right, now back left. Spins around, lays it up and misses. Doesn't even hit rim. And now Ralph Stone will bring it down for TMU. Ralph driving in, kicks back out now to Birch. The triple from three, that one's good. Bottom of the net, and Thomas More pushes their lead to 20 here with 2 minutes left in the first half. What a bucket there by Garen Birch. He's having a huge game. Here's Rabe. Back now to Sullivan. Sullivan, the quick three from the top of the key. That one's good. Rolls around and goes in. So a good answer there from the Lions. And TMU up by 17 here in this Christmas special here. Just 3 days before Christmas. Here now is Callahan. The triple on the way. Highly contested. Didn't matter. Bottom of the net. And TMU goes back up by 20. Love it when they get that three ball rolling. Here's Cropper. Now over to Sullivan. And now to Cropper. Cropper was thinking baseline. Kicks it back to Sullivan. The triple from three. Or excuse me, the triple from the wing. No good. Here's Stone. 1 minute, 5 seconds left in the half. Stone back out now to Horn. The triple on the way. That one no good. Long off the iron. And it's rebounded by Moorhead. Here now is Cropper. Cropper off the wing. Cropper. Good ball movement by Mount St. Joe. Now the two on the way off front. Iron rebounded by Cropper. Goes up and goes in. Good job there by Cropper to get that ball back and get his 4th point of the evening. Thomas More now with 7 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Can go 2 for 1. Probably not going to get a chance now. Knisley with it. Knisley. He'll be fouled. I don't know if they're going to call that a shooting foul, but that one's going to go against Cropper. And Kerrigan, he's going to get into it with the man in the stripes. They're going to be discussing whether or not that should have been a foul on Cropper. Kerrigan very vocal right now, probably walking that long, thin white line on whether or not the refs are going to maybe give him a little bit of a warning there. Seemed like he irked one of the officials. Always got to be careful there, especially with your team down by 18. Then he does get a call, though, so maybe that was something. Maybe that worked out for Kerrigan, because that's a travel called on TMU. 23 seconds left here. Mount St. Joseph has a chance here to score the final points of the first half. Jake Cropper only has 1 foul. Thomas More and Mount St. Joe have stayed relatively out of foul trouble. As I've said earlier, it's been kind of nice to let the kids play. Let the boys play. It's Christmas, for God's sake. Come on, let's have some fun. 13 to shoot. Cropper with it. Half winding down. Hands it off now to Thomas, and they're going to call a foul on Callahan. Thankfully, it's not going to put him in the bonus. Not yet, but that's a foul you don't need for Ryan Callahan. Not at all. That's his 2nd foul of the half, and he's going to come out. Can't risk giving him his 3rd. Damion King's going to come in. 8.1 seconds left in half numero uno. It's stolen away there by Horn and knocked out of play, so now 7 seconds left. That knocked off a whole 1.1 seconds. I'm surprised. I don't even know if that actually made it out of, I don't know if that actually ever hit the ground in play, but I'll take it. Any less time for them to score is fine by me. Here's Cropper. Cropper with King all over him. 4 to shoot. Cropper driving right. Spins. Has no room to go. He runs into a brick wall of Bate. And with that, Thomas More will end the half with a 37-19 point lead. Oh my goodness. What a wonderful start for Thomas More here. Game so far for Thomas More. Thomas More right now up 37-19 over their Cross River rivals in Mount St. Joseph. So, Liam, talking about what we've what we've got going on. I hope everybody is, if you're home already for the holidays, I hope that you guys have a great, great Christmas. I can't wait to get home finally up to Wisconsin. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to be able to drive home till Christmas Eve probably, but it's going to be a lot of fun one way or another. And I hope you guys all at home, if you're right now with your family and whatnot, enjoy every second of it, because that is what the season is all about. It truly is the very, very, very best time of the year. Thomas More up by 18. Damion King to inbound it. Inbounds to Callahan. Callahan driving right, goes up, goes in. Callahan 5 for 5 here out of the gate. He's got 12 points, and Thomas More is back up by 20. Here now is Moreland. Morehead passes over now to Sullivan. Looks inside. Now back to Morehead down on the low block, working on Stone. The hook shot on the way, no good, and he'll be fouled to go to the line and shoot 2. That's Stone's first foul of the game. Team's first foul of the half. Mitch Morehead going to the line to shoot 2, as I said earlier. Morehead, a 62% free throw shooter. Did not make that one, so he's going to drop that average down a little bit. Now 5 for 9 on the season. And he drains that one, so 60% now is his average. Not bad, not bad. Not good, but not bad. Here now is King after Morehead went 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. Now passes over to Birch. Birch on the outside will look inside to King. King spins, goes up, fouled, then he'll go to the line and shoot 2. So fouls back to back. Seemed like in that first half, they let the boys run a little bit. Only, 9 fouls called in the entire first half. Second half, not so much the case. You're already 2 fouls in the first 57 seconds. That foul's on Cropper, so that'll be his second foul. Team's first of the half. That one good from King. That one also good. So King 2 for 2 on that trip. TMU now back up by 21. Here's Rabe. Rabe losing his dribble. And he'll get it over now to Sullivan. Now back to Rabe. Thomas More still in the full court press. Fun to watch. Sullivan gets it. 20 seconds to shoot. Passes now over to Cropper. Now over to Cropper. Cropper gives it back to Sullivan. The point leader was 7 for MSJ. Goes up and misses. It'll be rebounded there by Horn. Thomas More pushing the pace now. Here's Damion King. Seeing the floor well. Drives with the left. Spins inside. Takes baseline. Now back to Birch. From 3. No good. And it's rebounded by Rabe. Here now is Sullivan. Sullivan back now to Young. Now here's Morehead. Morehead working down on Birch. Double team coming. He'll go off the glass, miss, and it's rebounded there by Ralph Stone. Good job there by Stone to stay strong there as he's able to pick up that rebound, and then he gets called for the carry. So there's one good thing, one bad thing. Life is all about balance, but I'm not so sure I'm all about that kind of balance. Giving the ball right back after a nice takeaway there from Ralph Stone. Here now is Morehead. Now, here's a quick 3. A nice, oh my goodness, what a nice shot there from Sean Sullivan. The step back 3, hitting it for his 10th point of the game. 41-23 here, 17:41 left to play. Here's Horn. Horn driving in, kicks it now over to Stone. Stone driving around from the high left elbow, that one no good. Rebounded by Young. Good job there by Cropper to box out Horn there to allow MSJ to pick up that rebound. Again, rebounding, that's something that MSJ struggled mightily on in the first half as they, again, getting out rebounded 19-9 in the first half. That's just inexcusable. So Garen Birch gets whistled for that foul, gets a sarcastic cheer from the Mount St. Joseph side of the stands. as they've been not too pleased with how Birch has been quite aggressive on defense here earlier in this game. I think I've mentioned that even earlier in the game. From a broadcaster's perspective, I thought Birch was a little handsy, but we'll let the boys play. Let the basketball, just let it roll. Here now is Sullivan. Sullivan driving in, goes up off the glass and in. He's got 12, and Thomas More's lead's cut to 16. Here's Birch. Birch now to King. King now to Callahan. Back to King. Here now is Birch. Birch now to Stone. Stone driving in. Now back out to Horn. Horn to Callahan. Callahan, the three on the way. No good. In and out. Man, that was tough. He was, 5 for 5, now 5 for 6. And really, that was online. Ryan Callahan is in the zone lately. It's been crazy to watch him, what he's been able to do here over the last few games. They're going to call it travel on Moorhead there. Thought he was kind of throwing an elbow there a little bit, but he seemed to catch a break there. I guess he turned it over before the foul would have been called. And just like that, King calls a timeout. So with that, we've got another break, and I'm going to take a quick one. But when I come back, we've got more Thomas More basketball action for you for Jim. Back at it here on ThomasMoreSaints.com. 16-18 left to play. 16-point lead for Thomas More. Something tells me MSJ's not quite done yet. Thomas More is going to have to put him down in the hole a little bit more if they're going to walk away with this one. Callahan gets fouled on that shot. He missed, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. That foul on Mitch Moorhead, that's his first foul, team's second. Ryan Callahan going to the line to shoot two. That one good. Man, how interesting. Again, the story of the day, not only, of course, it's Christmas and whatnot. I've been talking about that a lot during this broadcast, but what's been on my mind is what has to be, I'm trying to think about what Coach Ray, what's going through his thought process here. Up by 18, here with 16 minutes left against your old basketball team. Against, obviously, him working with Coach Kerrigan, I'd imagine, pretty closely. That's going to be a foul called there on Ralph Stone. Not able to move his feet quick enough there. That's his second foul. Coach Ray, he's got to be, I don't know if he's on pins and needles right now, but, it'd be interesting to see what's going through his mind right now. Here up big. But, obviously seeing Mount St. Joseph playing with a little more energy here in the second half, a little more urgency maybe, sparked by maybe some choice words by Coach Kerrigan. Here now is Young. Young driving in. Was it blocked? Indeed it was. It goes out of play off Thomas More. And so Mount St. Joe's going to keep it underneath their hoop with 4 seconds to shoot. Last time that happened, Young got blocked by Birch. Now passes into Sullivan. Sullivan lays it up. Oh, it's good. I think he was behind the backboard even. He was that close to the baseline, and he still drilled it. So a great shot there by Sullivan. He's got 14. Here now is Birch. Thomas More, 16. Now over to Horn. Horn spins. Backs out. Now gives it to Birch. Birch. Pump fakes. Now over to King. King drives right. 7 to shoot. King needing to find some space, finds Horn, the 2 on the way. That one good. Money from 2. And Thomas More now back up by 18. And when that offense is rolling, when those mid-range jumpers are falling for Thomas More, it's going to be hard to stay in their face because Damion King draws so much attention because you have to. You have to put attention on Damion King, otherwise he's going to burn you for 20 points easily. Don't even think about it. Forget about it. And then when you're able to kick it out, when you're playing so tightly on Damion King, that's going to give people like Ralph Stone, Brandon Horn, Ryan Callahan significant amounts of space. And when they can make those shots in the space that is given to them, you're going to see a lot of points scored for Thomas More. You're going to see a lot of big wins come out of TMU, especially here at home. You saw that big win that we had last broadcast against Emory and Henry. Batey's going to be whistled for that foul. Young makes it and 1. So that's Batey's first foul here in the Connor Convocation Center. And Young at the line to shoot one here to complete the three-point play. But Thomas More, I mean, they've been looking pretty good here so far today. Right when Mount St. Joe thinks that they can get back in it. Right now down by 15 with under 15 to play. Thomas Moore's offense has been able to, keep them at bay at least. Keep them from really making this lead a lot closer. There's a two good from Damion King. Again, getting him that space for the mid-range. It's working right now. Thomas More needs to keep working with it until they go cold pretty much, because right now it's impressive to watch. Here now is Sullivan. Sullivan, the two on the way. Quick one up and no good. Rebounded there by Horn. Horn now pushing it down at three-quarter court all the way up and in. Somehow sneaks that one in. Horn goes coast to coast, and Kerrigan not pleased with how, I don't know how he was able to sneak through that many Lions to get to the hoop. What kind of holes do you have to have in your defense? I mean, Brandon Horn, he's a very talented player, as Mount St. Joe calls a timeout, but he weaved through all five of the Lions, I'm pretty sure, as we now get a 60-second break. So I'm going to take another timeout, but I want to obviously thank the people that you are thankful for. A few people that I'm thankful for here on this Thomas More broadcast. Of course, my cameraman, Mr. Jimbo Russell, who's been instrumental to making sure that these games are brought to you guys in the highest quality possible. Well, as high of a quality you can have with me at the helm of the broadcast. I also like to thank, obviously, Corey Blackson and Terry Connor for all the work that they've done to help make this broadcast possible, helping get me on the air, even when I don't have a broadcast partner, just the fact that, we've been keeping this ship afloat, and without them, really, we couldn't bring these Christmas broadcasts to you because no one would be here to do it. So I think that really it's incredible that, they put so much effort in, and any kind of credit that I can give them, I need to give them, because I'm sure that I could give them credit for the entire 40 minutes of basketball, and it still probably wouldn't be enough compared to the work that they do here for Thomas More University. It's incredible. So thank you to them. Merry Christmas to them. Let's get back to basketball. Here's Cropper with it, and he is fouled by Brandon Horn. Probably a good thing, because Cropper just drilled a two. So Brandon Horn gets called for his second foul. That's the team's fifth foul here in half number 2. 13 minutes left to play. TMU up by 19. Cropper with it. Thought he could have gotten called for a travel there, but the refs let it slide. Here's Young. Cropper from 3. That one no good off front iron. Rebounded by King. King hustling down the left side of the court. Now over to Horn. Horn driving in. Swings from right to left. Now passes over to Stone. Now back to Horn. Excuse me, to Batey. Batey hands it off now to King. Looking inside for Batey. Ooh, trying to find that backdoor cut. And unfortunately, Rabe was right there to pick it off. Here now is Moorhead. Moorhead over to Sullivan. Looking inside now to Young. Young on the low block. Ooh, quick pass there over to Moorhead. Moorhead. Now over to Cropper. Cropper now to Young. 12 to shoot. Now here is Moorhead again. Now over to Sullivan with Callahan all over him. Sullivan driving in, goes up off the glass, no good, and it's rebounded there by Ralph Stone. Stone pushing down the right side of the court, 12 minutes left to play. Kicks it back to Callahan, the triple, no good, and it's rebounded there by Young. So good job there by Mount St. Joseph to wrangle that one in. 11:55 left to play. Here now is Moorhead. Down on the baseline. Doesn't look like he's going to take it, though, against Ralph Stone. He's going to dribble back around. Tries to find a lane. He does. He goes up and in. Lead cut to 17. King now to Batey. Batey now to Horn. Oh, and Horn was looking for Callahan. Callahan cut to the hoop, and it goes out of play. So a big miscommunication there leads to the turnover there for Horn, and we've got another 60-second timeout. So lead for TMU here late in this one. 11 minutes and 22 seconds left to play. I suppose there is some time for Mount St. Joseph to make this interesting, especially since they've been playing with a little more energy behind them here in half number 2. But again, Jake Cropper being pretty much quiet this entire game, only with 6 points so far in this one. averaging 19 on the year. And as I say that, he makes it up. Ooh, and he's fouled to go to the line and shoot 2. So he's waiting for his teammates to pick him up. No one does, at least, until Coach Kerrigan gives him a little bit of a little encouragement too. It's awesome watching Coach Kerrigan and Coach Ray, both two very active, very animated coaches, I should say, on each side of their bench. Cropper misses that free throw. Looking at the rebounding totals, Thomas More still holds a commanding lead after having a 10 rebound lead going into halftime. They continue that. 25 rebounds for TMU compared to the 15 for Mount St. Joe. Here now is Birch looking inside for Callahan. Callahan now swings it to Bate. Bate now over to King for the triple. That one good. King knocks it down into the bottom of the net, and Thomas More pushes their lead back up to 19. I'm having fun. Are you guys having fun at home? I hope you are, because this is what it's all about. Thomas More making every shot, it seems. They're from beyond the arc. You give them an inch of room, even less it seems, and Thomas More is still going to be able to knock it down. It's been awesome to watch. Here now is Brady Thomas. Thomas for 3. That one no good, offside iron. Rebounded by Birch. Birch using the long legs, giving it off now to King. King, skip pass now over to Callahan. The triple. That one no good, rebounded by Sullivan. Sullivan now across the timeline. Now over to Cropper. Cropper with room, goes up, misses. That was a terrible shot by Jake Cropper. That one goes just off of the glass. I don't know if Thomas More really, I think he expected to be fouled maybe on that and just wanted to get the ball up. Didn't quite work there. Here now is Birch. Birch, the jump stop, goes up. And he'll ram his way in. Thomas More extends their lead to 21 points. And they're up 54-33 here with 9:43 left to play. A great run here for Thomas More. Boy, are they marching. Here now is Moorhead. Moorhead extending the left elbow to kind of give him some more space. Gives it now to Thomas. Thomas now to Cropper. Cropper then over to Sullivan. Sullivan driving to the right side, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Garen Birch. Indeed they do. That foul on Birch will be his 3rd. Oh, 4th, excuse me. Team's 8th. And now Sullivan will go to the line. A very, very good free throw shooter. He will head to the line and will shoot 1 and a bonus. Most likely going to shoot 2 with his free throw percentage being as high as it is. Well over 85%. That one's good. He's a little worried there. That one rimmed around, but that one did fall indeed to cut their deficit to 20. Still a pretty big mount for the Mount to climb, if you will. Second free throw on the way. That one also good. Sullivan, heck of a game he's been having in this one. King receives the inbound pass. Looking at Sullivan, he's got 16 points in this one. He's looking good. Here's Bate. Bate swings around, goes up and goes in. He's got his first 2 points as a Thomas More Saint in the Connor Convocation Center, and that's got to feel good. Just get the monkey off your back. Get it, put it away. Now he can work to build on that. It's great to have him here. That one rebounded by, I thought it was going to be rebounded by King. It goes off of King as Sullivan strips it away from him. King not too pleased with that. He thought it went off of number 3 in Sullivan, but Sullivan, very active hands. It's kind of nice. It's weird to see because he's not a very intimidating player when it comes to his physique, but he's so smooth and he's so fast that almost like a Steph Curry type player, actually, the style at least that he plays. Obviously, Steph Curry. I don't like comparing people to NBA legends, but at the D3 level. But his style, I think, is very similar. He's very fluid when he's playing both on offense and defense. He has very quick release from his shot. He kind of shoots not from the hip, but he shoots kind of from the side. Much like Steph Curry does, and he makes pretty much every free throw, much like Steph Curry does. So, that's where I'm kind of drawing that comparison here. TMU still up big, though. 21-point lead here for the Saints. Inside to Bate. That one knocked away, and will stay with TMU. Here's Horn, inside to Bate. Bate working in on Moorhead. Got some space, he'll kick back out now to Horn. Horn going up, Horn going in. With the left, TMU up 23. 8 minutes and 17 seconds left, and man, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be all smiles here soon for Thomas More. They're looking great right now. Here's Cedric Woods, called for the travel. And now Brandon Horn will inbound it. 8:09 left to play. Got to think Thomas More can get this to about the 4-minute mark. We're going to start seeing some substitutes come in, especially with a 23-point lead like they have. Keep feeding it to Bate. I love it. Here now's Knisely. Knisely for three. That one no good off the front of the rim. Rebounded there by Horn. Now back out to Knisely. Another triple. He won't. Ooh, I didn't think he missed twice. That one in and out, rimmed around. And now inside to Bate. Bate goes up hard and goes in. A big take there by the big man. Number 33 has his 4th point of the evening. And Thomas More up by 25. Here now is Sullivan. Now over to Woods. Cedric Woods from Fairfield. Passes now over to Sullivan again. Over now to Kenny Simpson. Back to Sullivan. The long three on the way. Jimmer Fredette range. No good. Rebounded by Bate. Here now is King. King driving in. He's going to kick it back out now to Callahan. The triple in transition. No good. Rebounded there by Simpson. Simpson now passing over to Tanner Close. It's nearly stolen away there by Knisely, but he will carry it out of bounds. Good effort there by Max. 6:57 left to play here. TMU is, it's all TMU right now. Mount St. Joseph didn't look bad out of the gate, but Thomas More had the lead pretty much from the get-go and has not looked back. And they're going to call a timeout. So Sullivan, after not being able to find an open target for the inbound pass, will call for a timeout, and we're going to take a full break. So we've got 60 seconds here of not... Back at it here on ThomasMoreSaints.com. A quick interception there by Max Knisely right out of the break. He'll feed it to Damion King, who goes up and misses, but he's fouled. So Damion King will go to the line, and he will shoot two. 60-35 our score here. 6:52 left to play. Guys, I hope you all have had a good time watching this broadcast. I hope the energy level has been high enough. I know Thomas More has been up big the entire time, and sometimes when that happens, you know, in games that aren't so close, it's easy to, especially when you're just by yourself, it's easy to kind of let the game get into a lull. I hope to not have given you that here on ThomasMoreSaints.com. I know that the broadcasts themselves have been getting a lot of good reviews. They've been getting I don't know why, probably just because of our camera work. But we've had a lot of people watching. It started in football through basketball season. It's been great. I'm expecting the same kind of success here for the Thomas More, the Saints Sports Network here, coming into the spring, especially as we start getting into March Madness and whatnot, and tournament time. So Thomas More's got a lot to offer here on the broadcasting side as well. No matter if you can't make the game, you always can watch TMU. Even if I'm not broadcasting it, obviously they still have a camera at pretty much every event. So you definitely have an opportunity. Here now is Young, and hopefully we can keep bringing you that kind of opportunity. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Here now is Young. Young giving off now to Woods. Woods, the high arching three is good. Bottom of the net. And Thomas More lead now cut to 24. 62-38. Here's Connor checking in. And it's going to be a jump ball here, as Brady Thomas actually will take the ball away from TMU after incurring the jump ball. Good job there by Connor to not just give it up outright. It's kind of funny. He and Thomas actually very similar body types. They almost look similar, guarding each other. Not quite like a mirror image, but one wears 23, the other 22. Both stand about the same height, have similar hair. Connor's a straight shooting guy though. He's got the clean shave though, unlike Thomas. And that ball goes out of play. I know you might be thinking, come on, Nate, you're commenting on facial hair. Come on, there's basketball to be played. Yes, it's also a 24-point game here, folks. So I'm trying to paint the picture as much as I can. Here's Connor passing now over court justice. Now inside to Bate. Bate spin moves. Oh, good move by Bate. Spins around a defender, fades away, and drains it. Thomas More back up by 26. Here now is Young. Ooh! Simpson clocked Knisely there. He ran smack into him. That was a dirty shot there. I can't believe that the refs didn't see that. Knisely got walloped down on the free throw line. And I hope that Simpson just wasn't looking at where he was going. But he crossed his arms and everything when he ran into him. Unbelievable. 64-38. 5:19 left to play. Folks, obviously we want to thank our sponsors for Thomas More Athletics. Obviously the Holiday Inn at the Cincinnati Airport. Make sure you stop there anytime you are traveling into this area. You need to be quick to the airport. It is awesome right there. I mean, it takes, 5 minutes to get toward the airport at that point. That three was good. A nice little shot there from the corner. That one comes from Yost. Here's Connor. Connor giving it now back to Knisely, then back to Connor and over to McKinney. Receiving the screen pass. And McKinney going up, the senior going in. So the Georgia native getting a nice little bucket before he'll head south for Christmas break. 25-point lead for TMU. Guys, again, we want to, as I was saying about our sponsors, JTM Food Group. Let me plug them real quick because I've got a lot of good things to say about JTM Food Group. I mean, I am a guy who I don't know when I'm going to, as far as I try to buy fresh vegetables and fresh foods all the time, and it's great when I do. But I can't tell you how many times I, try to buy the frozen foods, and they just don't come out right. I make them properly. I have the taquitos, the frozen foods. Sometimes I'll have fresh foods. I'm a young single man, so naturally eating frozen food is something that I do quite often, but it's never quite right. Right? I always kind of feel like I'm just eating like something out of a box. JTM has changed that because their Philly cheesesteak packages that they offer, you can buy them at Walmart, Kroger, probably wherever you can find them in this area. You can get some seriously good Philly cheesesteak kits from JTM. And relatively inexpensive. You get 4 really big-sized cheesesteaks for like $11, I think is what it runs to at most at the Walmart, at least close to here in Fort Wright. They're an awesome supporter of Thomas More Athletics. And if you're looking for something to try, maybe watch a Thomas More game. JTM Food Group has your bag. You can find they have the giant big orange bags pretty much as that shot is. Oh, good somehow by Court Justice as he pulls the arrow out of the quiver and slings it. What an amazing shot. Goodness, that ball, it might have gone out of orbit before it came down. The miracle shot was good, and that one's stolen away by Court Justice. Does he have 5 points in 5 seconds? He does. He does. Court Justice all smiles. Unbelievable. Also, folks, Barleycorns of Kentucky. They have 3 great locations where you can go get their amazing appetizers and a couple cold drinks for the UK games, for the Thomas More games. BSN Sports, Central Bank of Kentucky. Jimmy John's, obviously, who does our player of the game and post-game show. And Commonwealth Bank and Trust here on ThomasMoreSaints.com. So, 71-45 our score. Now that we've plugged all of our sponsors, we've got all of that taken care of. We can start, looking at the individual stats a little bit about who is going to be our player of the game. Because you know what? There are a couple contenders, I got to say. Thomas More had a, early in the game, it looked like Damion King was going to be the guy. And then, Ryan Callahan ends up closing the gap a little bit. He gets 14 points. Brandon Horn picks up 14 points and 7 rebounds. But then Damion King's got his 21. So, who are we going to choose? Make sure that you stay tuned afterwards to find out here on the postgame show, brought to you by Jimmy John's. Here's McKinney from the corner. That one no good. Rebounded by Simpson. Simpson nearly losing his footing. He'll kick back out now to Close. Now here's Thomas going up. Thomas will be fouled and goes in for one. For an and one, I should say. Yeah, all this talk about food is getting me hungry. Might have to stop at Jimmy John's afterwards to fill up for the rest of Saturday afternoon. Free throw is no good, rebounded by Connor. Connor crossing half court. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here. Swings it now over to Joel Day. Joel Day, pump fakes. Gives it now over to Hall. And now inside to McKinney. McKinney fades away, no good. Gets his own rebound. Stays strong under the hoop, goes up and goes in. He's too strong. That's senior leadership. Gets the job done here with 2 minutes left. Thomas More now up 73-47. A big lead for TMU. Knocked away there by McKinney. McKinney loses his footing. Gives it now off to Joel Day. Incredible effort by McKinney to, jump in front of that one. And now he's got a quick first step. He goes up under and misses, unfortunately. He almost had his 6th point of the evening. Here now is Thomas out on the left side. And they're going to call a rolling timeout. So MSJ, that will be one of their final timeouts, and Thomas More is going to have a slew of... And also Stephen Maley. .122 left to play. Maley getting a little aggressive there on defense. I love to see it here, coming off the bench. 3 on the way from the corner, no good. Rebounded there by McKinney. Gives it now off to Brendan Hall. 1 minute and 8 seconds left to play. Now up to McKinney. McKinney on the baseline, goes up, misses, and it's rebounded there quickly by number 21 in Matt Palma, a 6'7" freshman out of Dayton, Ohio. Stolen away there by Maley. Maley passes up now to Nowak. Nowak for the dunk. No, probably not. He lays it up and he lays it in. Nowak stands at 6. He's listed at 6 foot, probably 5'11". But he's still able to knock that one down and give TMU a 75-47 lead. That one up, that one no good. Didn't even hit rim, I don't think, and it goes out of play in favor of Thomas More. 32 seconds left, 30 seconds on the shot clock, so not quite rendered irrelevant. But TMU going to take plenty of time, I'm sure. McKinney looking inside. He ends up finding Cameron Boone wide open under the hoop. Brennan Hall drains the 3. Cameron Boone wasn't even ready for it. He didn't think he would be that wide open underneath. He ended up kicking it out, and Thomas More still is able to pull off the triple. So 78-47 our score. A 31-point lead. That one goes in and out, and it's rebounded by Hall. So with that, against his old team, Coach Justin Ray and the Thomas More Saints go marching. 78-47, our final score here in the River Rivalry here in Thomas More University in the Connor